Another class. It's been a while. I recorded a class. I had so much to do recently, and I really apologize for this delay. And after the bulk of classes I sent over, it's really also took us time to go through it and everything. So now we've done a lot on HTML and CSS, but we just broke everything in different parts and bits. Now I want us to bring it all together and do something like a project that we bring everything we've learned so far into one place before we proceed further. So what are we going to do? A friend of mine has a business where he sells shawarma, burgers, and stuff. And let's just do a project that focuses on creating a taking his offline small scale shawarma business online where he can advertise himself. People can just go and get to know about him, and at the same time maybe make orders and stuff. So we're just going to do that using not just Photoshop. We're going to just use code to actually design something like that. And for a project like this, normally when we talked about UI UX design, I said you first of all go to Photoshop and draft out how you want your design to look like. But I would be skipping that step because this project is more about the coding aspect than the design aspects alone. So before that's just the background behind what we'll be doing in the next couple of lectures, because I know it's going to take a while, so the videos will be broken down step by step. But before let's just start, I'll just create a new folder on my desktop now, and I'll call it shawarma. I like shawarma. Many people don't, but I do. My wife doesn't like shawarma, but I do. So now there's a way I like to open my VS Code. I'll just show you quickly. What I normally do is just come here, then type cmd. I'm using a Windows system, so I don't know how you do it on Mac. Then I do code space then full stop, and once I do this, my VS Code will open this folder for me. It will open in this folder. That's just how I open VS Code quickly without going through a lot of stress. So let me resize it so that it fits into my recording screen. Where do I resize? Oh, I don't want to switch to VS Code. No. I'm coming and try resizing it. Okay. Things are falling into perspective. Okay. Good. I think we all can see now. And as it is, there's nothing in the folder. It's empty. So I'm just going to quickly create a new HTML document, and I'll call it index.html at the root of the file. Then I'll create a folder and I'll call it CSS, just a folder. Then inside the folder, I'll open it. Inside the folder, I'll now create a style.css file. please don't get confused on the processes I created. The index is not inside of the CSS folder, it's just at the base here. Then next, still not inside the CSS folder, just in the base where the HTML document is. I'll just create an img file. Nothing will be inside for now, but that's where we'll keep our images. So we have two folders here, the style folder and the image folder. Let me show you this thing. Okay, I can close this out now. This is just what we just did in the VS Code. We have the index, then we have the images folder that we just created, nothing is inside, and the CSS folder that has the style.css file. That's just what we just did. So please don't get confused in any way. I'll just leave this at the background so that we can always refer back to it. I'll just open, let me open this in our browser. What browser is open now? Okay, let me just open it in my the center browser. Actually, there's nothing in the HTML file, so it's just going to be a blank HTML file. It's going to be a blank HTML file, so let me just resize it so that it just fits into the browser. My recording space. Do I resize? It's taking time. Oh, this browser is pretending like it has a mind of its own, but we'll show ourselves who is the boss. It doesn't have a mind of its own. Okay, let me try and focus it in. I just want you to see everything that will be happening. Okay, so we have a blank HTML document, and we have, like we can see, this our folder. I don't want it to be. Then let's go to our code. Style CSS is empty. So now that we are all fully set up, remember I told you that we could use shortcut to quickly start our projects, and this is the shortcut, and just by pressing the exclamation mark, it gives me this option, and I'll press tab. Voila, everything is back in. So I would like to also talk a little bit about the setup. In case let me just start it over again so that you get to understand what I just did, because I just did the exclamation mark and that's it. It brings this out. This was exempted initially, so that's why I had to redo it. So I want to talk a little bit about what's in this head tag. We have the title tag. We've discussed extensively about it in the past classes, but these meta tags, they are different. These are like these help tell the browser what to do or what your file is about. This is I think I mentioned something about the chassis in one of our classes, but basically let me repeat it. It's a Unicode. Encodes are documented what is called Unicode UTF-8. I think this is the internet basics for it now. So then there's this this one just tells it HTTP equivalents and makes it also compatible to Internet Explorer and Edge. Then this is the viewport, and it helps so that your code and whatever you design can be able to scale and be compatible with different viewports or different size of devices, basically, like mobile and desktop and tab. I think that's just the simplest way to explain it. So there's also another one you could do, meta. I think meta. I think it's meta, then the name will be description. I think it's description. I think yes, description. Then the content. The content will be brief description about what your site or the page you are coding is about. Mostly this will help search engines to understand this last meta tag I just add. This description will help search engines to understand what your page is about and help index it properly. So this and this title kind of help the bots or the crawlers of the search engines to understand what is inside your page and be able to index it properly. It's just a little bit into, we're entering into search engine optimization actually by discussing this. So let me just say this is I'm just making sure shawarma sports in Abuja, Nigeria. You've known my city. Now we could narrow it down to Kuje. That's where I stay. Then what? Let me just look for a random name. Ades. I don't know what's with me and these Yoruba people. Ades shawarma spots. Okay. So technically we're almost done with the head, but we need to link our CSS file. If you notice the empty CSS file created to our HTML document, so that the style, whatever style attributes we do there, will reflect in our HTML document. So how do we go about doing this? We just use the link tag, and if you notice, VS Code brings a very wonderful help. So I'll be using more of the help. Please, I hope you downloaded the what do they call it again? Extensions. If you did that, it will help you be able to do this. So it automatically tries to link to the style sheet, but this is a different location. It's not, assuming the style sheet was in the same folder with the HTML document or the same level, this would have worked, but since I nested mine inside of a CSS folder, it will work. So let's just link it the way we used to do it. So full stop, meaning go back. Then if you notice, it now shows us the folders in our file. So I can now go into CSS, then style.css, and that's how it is done. So we've linked our CSS file together. To check if this is really true, let's just put a div tag with this with a class of example. Let me make the example small later. Okay, just that. Then we pick it up here. If you notice, nothing is still displaying in our browser, but we already have a div tag with the class of example here. So we're just going to style it now to see if our CSS document is linked. So we are going to pick that. Remember, I told you how to pick to target a selector. So we're going to target the class example, then our curly braces. That's all. Then let's say we'll give it a width of I can't spell width again, Jesus. Width of let's say 200 pixel, and height of let's give it 200 pixel. Then let's give it background color. of Azure. Let's give it blue. I'm starting to have too much affinity with blue. Then let's just see if this shows up in our browser to see if our HTML document is properly linked. See, so it shows up proving that our document is linked already. No, so that is that. Now let's get back into business and build something really meaningful. So I'm going to just delete this example div that I try to use, then remove this style. Remember I told you that HTML comes with its own style from the beginning. So you could reset this style. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to reset the old style. I'm going to target the old document, and I'm going to say let me just make it more meaningful. I'll just target the body. I'll say padding 0, margin 0. So I've reset everything, or you could just target the entire HTML document with the asterisk sign like I tried doing before, but I just wanted to be more descriptive. So everything inside has a 0 margin and a 0 padding, and we've reset our document. So any margin that is in the edge document or something, the H1 and H2 and all that would not reflect. Everything just goes. So we are going to go to 0, and we're going to go from beginning. Or let's just use the asterisk, I think, so that to just give us that, so that in case you see it in another code, you can easily understand what they're trying to do. So basically, we reset our document. Now let's start putting things into our HTML body. First off, we talked about the semantic tags, so I'm just going to use one of them, which is a nav tag, and I want to put a navigation with image brand name or logo on one side, then a navigation keys or navigation links on the other side, like you see in most conventional sites. So what I'm just going to do is in the navbar or nav, I'm just going to do 2 div tags. I'm just going to do 2 div tags. This one is going to be class. I'm just going to put a class for brand, then another div tag for a class of I'm trying to be as slow as possible so that I'll be able to not miss any step. Nav links. And if you notice, maybe when we get into Bootstrap, you'll see that some of the things I'm using is kind of related to Bootstrap classes. Bootstrap is a how will I put it? Is a CSS JavaScript framework that helps programmers build things pretty quickly. So it's like somebody has already written a long CSS and JavaScript file for you, covering almost every scenario that you can ever think of, and all you just need to do is impute those classes and they work as you want them to work. So it's quite sweet. So when we get into it, you just get to understand how lovely Bootstrap is. and I use it a lot. Most developers use it a lot, and when you get to learn it, you might even end up using it more than most people. There are other frameworks that you could equally use. MD Bootstrap. MD Bootstrap is still kind of affiliated to Bootstrap. I think there's SAS, CSS, and all that, but basically just focus more on there's I'm trying to remember this one I used it last time, but my mind is not just, I don't know what's happening. So let's just focus on what's in front of us already. So now let me call this Adi Shawarma. Adi Shawarma. If you have a friend who is Adi and he has a shawarma spot, you should come and pay me. Then in this nav link, I'm just going to put we need home. So I'm just going to, how do I do this? Okay, I'll make a list, something we're familiar with, another list. Then I'll now put the li home. That's one. Then li about. I think this to navigation is enough. Then let's see how it is coming on our site. If you notice, yes, home, and about. So how do we if you notice, everything is just in one side like this because of the way we told it to be. So now we can now go back to our code and try to start styling our navbar. One thing you could do is since these are links, and remember we talked about links, so you could just wrap it up in a link tag. I'll just cut this from here. I'll copy, just cut it then. Yes, then the same thing, since they are going somewhere, they are both links. Okay, but if you notice, even you do this, it will not show as link unless you put, or function as link unless you put the href attributes. I don't want it to link anywhere yet, so just put the href attributes. Then you can target it and style it later. So it's now displaying as link, basically. As I said, home is taking, because I put a full stop, it's taking us back to home. So this is what we have. Okay, so now we're going to CSS and we're going to target our nav thematic tag. Then we'll give it a height of what should be the height? I didn't even think about this budget before we started. Let's just wing it as we go. Height of let's give it a height of 200 pixels. See, 200 pixels, and width. We want the width to flow from left to right, so we just leave the width. We don't even need to mention it since we want it to flow from left to right. We just need to mention the height and the width to be automatic. We give it a background color of I want it a little bit like ash or brown. Brown seems like a food color. I think so. Something food like. Then I want the colors, since we're putting a brown background, for it to come out the text needs to be white. So say color I'll just give it white. Let's see what we have. Okay, height of 200 pixels is too much, evidently, and the links, they are not coming out well, so we still have to style that one. So let's target the UL. If you notice, I'm trying to be specific here. ULLI links. Okay, I shouldn't take no need for this. ULLI links. No need for that comma. Then I'm just going to say color white, and that would make our links to become white. Not working. Why? Okay. Why is it not working? Why is it not working? Okay, let's see. Maybe I didn't save something. Let me find out why it's not working. Okay, let me narrow this hour. Let me be more specific. Nav UL li links. Let's see. No. No, it's still not showing as I want it to. I don't want that blue on. Let me also remove text decoration or none. I don't want that underline that is there. I hope you can see it. Why is everything I'm trying to do not working? Let me see why. So what is happening? Okay. Let's say I'm targeting it too deep. Maybe I should have just said. I don't know. I think I should have left some comma here since I'm digging deep. I think I'm forgetting something already. What am I forgetting? Okay, I guess that worked. So I guess I should have put some comma line nav to narrow it down. So I didn't narrow it down very well. So now I wanted color black and text decoration none. And you see the text decoration has disappeared. That's the underline. So one more thing I want to do is I want it to display like a normal link would on a site. Like let's reduce this to 100 please before I forget, so that it will not look so outrageous. 100 is even a little bit big, but fair. So I want this shawarma name to be here, then this ones to be around here. There are several ways to achieve this, but I'm just going to use the one we've already done, the method we've already used, which is using floats. I think there are so many other ways you could do this. You could use flex. You could display as flex. Then you could make this. Let's learn flex. We've used float, so let's learn flex. Okay. So now we could target the nav elements and just say display sorry, display flex. Now let's see display inline first, so that everything will be on the same line. If you notice, display inline, and it disappeared. Oh Lord, where did it go to? Okay, let me do what was in my mind. And there's the display flex. Then I'll now pick the first I'm supposed to pick the first nav link, no, brand, sorry, brand, and so brand. But before we go to brand, let's just okay. There's something else I was supposed to put here. So flex direction column will stack it up from top to bottom, like top to bottom, but row will stack them up horizontally. Let's see what I'm talking about. You can see this is now here, then we have this like this. Then I want so I'll just take this. Okay, back to our code. I want let me target the nav link. So I want the nav links to go to the other end. So I'll just say justify, since we're using flex, justify content end. I want it at the end. I want that at the end, and let's see if that works. My system is hanging. It's not doing that. Okay, I didn't save this. Supposed to take this here. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Display flex, and let's see if that works. It's not saving. My system is hanging. I don't know if it's hanging on the tree. Taking time to save. Okay. I guess that's not the approach to go. Okay. That's not the approach to go, so just forget I did all this. Right now, then let's just display nav links, display. Let's just forget I did all this. I'm just going to target the URL first. Nav UL, and put the display tag on display inline, so that we'll know how we'll resolve that issue. Why is it disappearing? URL li. this shawarma has run away. Okay. Okay. I think I made a mistake somewhere, and I'm actually paying for that mistake dearly. The way I styled this is even wrong. So I was trying to use the same wrong pattern to do the same thing here. So what I think, I should have just targeted the nav link then A instead of going all this nesting. And I think this nesting is wrong because it looks like I'm selecting the nav, selecting the UL, selecting the LI, then selecting this, then giving it all the same style. So when I tried doing the same thing for this same thing, which is wrong, it made it disappear. That is what I'm thinking. So what I'll just do is I'll just retrace my step from here. So I'll just remove this. Then notice we have a nav link. Then we just target the A in the nav link, and this would work the same way. Since we want to target the LI, so we'll just do the same thing, nav link, then target the LI, then display inline. I think this should work now, and our text to be back. Okay, see, good, it's back at this shawarma, but there's no space, it's just at this shawarma, oh man, about like that. So let's just go back here and do the needful. So what do we do? I want a flex flex justify flex justify, I think justify content, and I want space in between them. There's a attribute called space between, and you see what this does in a minute. Just see in a second. Okay, see, this shawarma is here, home and about is here. Now we are starting to look like we are building something meaningful. So now we have already said this to display inline, and what I want to do is I want to give it the LI should have a margin left and right and margin top and bottom, so I want it to be in the middle. So margin top and bottom. Top should be, let's say, give it, since our stuff is 20 pixel, and see, we'll keep adjusting 20 pixel. Right should be right and left to be auto. So let's give it down. Let's give it 20 pixel as well, and let's see what happens. Okay, nothing really happens. Why didn't anything happen? Why didn't anything happen to our LI? Or rather than target the LI for this, let's just target the nav links as a whole. So just target the nav links as a whole and just give it that style. Okay, this worked. And if you notice, what brought it to the middle was because I gave it auto for the left and right. So it just auto for left and right, looked at the middle ground and just jumped there. But that's not what, meaning I should not give it auto. I should give it a 30 pixel, 30 pixel, something like this, and let's see. Now it's 30 pixel away from this and 20 pixel down up. So the same thing I'll just do that to the brand. I'll just do that to the brand, or rather target the elements together. Did I wrap them? I didn't wrap them. Oh, so I have to repeat my code, and it is wrong to repeat code. So I'm teaching you how to do something wrong. Bullet brand. So I'll just give it the same thing. Later I'll look for a way to do this so that I won't have to repeat my code. Okay, now this makes a lot of sense, but I think this height is too much. Rather than giving it a fixed height of 100 pixels, let's see what happens if I remove the height. Good, it fits the way I want it to be. And I would like to have a space between the home and the about. So let me look for a way around that, because it looks too clustered together. So that's nav links. Margin top, left and right, margin. Okay. Let me give it a margin of margin left, right. I want to target the first child. So I think the way around it is to go to I'm just trying to wing it. I'll go to the nav link, target the UL, then the first child. I think there's a full column, then first child. Then I'm just going to give it a margin top 0, bottom top 0. Then I need the margin left. I need to give it maybe 5 pixel, then right 0. I think every other thing should be 0, left, right, 0. I think that should work. So let's see if 5 pixel wasn't enough. Let's give it 10. Why is it not working? Why didn't they work? Okay, I think maybe I should have said LI instead of UL. LI. Let's see, maybe that will work. I think it's LI, not UL. Still not working. How do I do this? Okay, I guess I'll look for a solution for it later. There's always a shortcut around things like this. Could just go to the home and put a class on this li, put a class on it and say home, and put a class on the about as well. but this is just a longer way of doing things, and but just so that we just get past this whole thing. So I'm styling the home with this style, and it should work now. But why is it not working? Or is it my browser that is not refreshing? It should work. Or okay, let me do 10 pixel and see what happens. Okay, it worked. I guess I made a mistake with meaning. We'll go back and I'll do a class for that. I don't know why it wasn't working all the while, but now it's moved 10 pixel to the left, so we are good on our navbar to an extent. I want it to have an over effect. I think we spent a lot of time with this. I also want to see if it works very well when we are on a smaller screen. Good, it's adjusting as I want it to adjust, just like we're on a mobile screen, and it's slick, so it makes a lot of sense. So we have our home and this shawarma and this. I don't know, I kind of took this too long. Our code is very long and we spent quite a lot of time doing simple things because I guess I didn't prepare so much for this class. But I'm happy we're able to achieve what we want to achieve to an extent. Let's say I still want the text size to be a little bit bigger, font size. Medium should be okay, should be medium. I would have wanted to put a specific, let me just leave it out. There's no need, let me not put a specific size to it. What else do I want to do? I want the navigation links to hover, so I'm just going to put an over effect over, and I want the color to be, I'm just going to use RGB colors here, then 0.6, I think this should be incoming, since I'm getting yeah, RGB. I want this to be 0, I want this to be 0, I want this to equally be 0, 0.6, let's see. It's not doing what I want it to do, so let me just pick it directly. Okay, refresh. Okay, now it's doing what I want it to do. It's overing, so when I bring my mouse over it, it just shrinks to that deep black and does that. I think I don't want this to do that, but I want this to do exactly that. So that is that about our navbar. The next class will be designing the Jumbatron or something fancy about it, so that when somebody comes they would know that we've landed on a page. So that'll be what's next. Thank you very much for this class. It's been quite long designing just in Navbar. I tried not to be fast and I made a lot of mistakes, but we are at the end of it. Thank you.